Thinking of relocating or moving to the North Houston area, there are two main communities. They are going to be the Woodlands, which is north of IH-45 from downtown, and Kingwood, which is north of IH-69. Kingwood is probably about 22 minutes from downtown, and the Woodlands is about 33 minutes from downtown, so a little bit further north. The first thing we're going to talk about is location and traffic. I'm going to switch over to the Google map so I can give you an idea of where the location of both of these cities are, as well as a map so you can see it and talk about the traffic a little bit. If this is your first time to view my channel, I want to say thank you very much. I would appreciate you subscribing and tapping on the bell so notification will be sent to you every time there are new videos. We deal with this on a daily basis of clients asking us all kinds of information about relocating into the Houston area. I am Judy Hayes, the broker owner of Designed Realty Group. We get calls, emails, and texts on a daily basis for buyers just like you. Whether you are looking to make a move in today, tomorrow, 3 weeks, 6 months, or a year, it is never too early to reach out. Feel free to give us a call, shoot us an email or a text. All of our information is in the description below, as we would love to help you make this transition as smooth and easy as possible. Again, I am Judy Hayes, and I can assist with your relocation or moving to the Kingwood area or the Woodlands. We are in North Houston, about 22 to 32 miles north of downtown. We are going to take a look at the Google map with regard to the Woodlands versus Kingwood. So we are going to start with location. You will notice, so downtown is way down here. So the Woodlands and Kingwood are north of downtown. We are going to focus on, this is Interstate 45. This is Interstate 69. So they're pretty much parallel to one another. And again, downtown is way down here. So you will notice that this is the Woodlands area here, and it is a little further north than Kingwood. So Kingwood is going to be right here, and the Woodlands is going to be right here. The Woodlands goes all the way west to 2978. So basically from 242, which is College Park right here, to right in this area is going to be all of the Woodlands. So again, the Woodlands is 45 north and Kingwood is 69 north. So you will see, again, both of these communities are set up on villages: Cochran's Crossing, Panther Creek, the villages of Grogan's Mill, Creekside Park. So each of these villages has its very own personality and price point. With regard to traffic, the first thing I'm going to say is clearly the Woodlands is much larger, so the traffic is substantially more. You have a ton of people, obviously, but you also have way more business opportunities that are located in the Woodlands, specifically Exxon and several other large oil and gas companies. So the traffic is kind of going both ways. You're used to traffic being busy, going into downtown at 9 a.m. and coming out of downtown from 5 p.m. But in the Woodlands, it's congested both ways, both times, because so many people live in the Woodlands and may work in downtown, but other people work all over the Houston area and drive to the Woodlands to work. So that traffic is going to get you both ways. If we go across, if you want to go from the Woodlands to Kingwood, you are going to do that through a toll road code 99. Everybody loves this. It will get you from 69 to 45 in about 10 minutes. So people that are in the Woodlands can get to Kingwood by going a little bit north and across. If you are looking in Kingwood, again, like we talked about, you are going to have Lake Houston here. You have villages up in the Kingwood area, and you are on 69. So that's a little bit about location. Home values in the Woodlands versus Kingwood. We are going to go over a little bit of what bang for your buck you're going to get in both of those two areas. So the first thing we're going to start in is the luxury market. So if you are looking for luxury properties, we are looking at $1 million range plus in the Kingwood area. There are currently 6 active listings that we're going to consider $1 million properties. You can see the lots in Kingwood are pretty good size. These last 3 are over an acre in here. Square footage is between 5,000 and 6,000 square foot, except for this giant one that's 9,000 square foot. My goodness. Starting at 1.1 million all the way to 2.99 million. And we are in Kingwood. We are going to switch that over to the Woodlands. And you are going to find substantially more higher luxury property in the Woodlands. Of course, like we talked about, the Woodlands is more than double size. I'm going to guess triple the size of Kingwood, but you're going to have 48 properties that are above $1 million. You can see the ones that are consistent with the price range in Kingwood. There's more to choose from over here. They're still in the 80s. Built in the mid to late 80s right here. Then you actually have 48 properties that are going to be way luxury properties all the way up to 13 million. Wow, wow, wow. So you will see lots between 2 and 3 million right here, 4, 5, 6. So this is really pushing the high end market down here, but you definitely have more luxury in the Woodlands. Let's talk about us normal old folks and you know what we're going to look at. We're going to stay over in the Woodlands and let's just see what 500 to 550 is going to get us in the Woodlands. So wow, only 13 matches right now. You will see the square footage is, you know, mid 2,000 to high 2,000 square feet. There's your prices from 5 to 550. Year built, you looking like you're mostly in the 90s, a little bit of the 2000s right there. Let's do the same thing and keep it in Kingwood to see what we get. So again, we are 5 to 550. Oh, only five houses in that price point right now. Again, larger lots, larger houses here for the same price point in Kingwood. You are going to get more bang for your buck, period. These were built 90s and 2000, 2015. That's a pretty new one there in River Point Village. Again, each of these communities has different villages with different price points and different styles. So you are always going to get more bang for your buck in Kingwood. I don't sit here and have a spreadsheet of everything, but I'm going to tell you, generally speaking, you're probably looking Kingwood to be about 25 to 30% less expensive than the Woodlands. So if you're doing apples to apples and you're looking exactly what one house has compared to another. Now let's look more on an affordability and look at 250 to 350. We are still in Kingwood. So 250 to 350, this is generally a first-time home buyer option. You've got 23 options in Kingwood, much newer homes right here. You've got some in the 70s down here, but a few in the 2000s up here. Kings Manor is a newer subdivision, and they're going to provide those newer homes for you. You will see these haven't been on the market too long. There's our days on the market. But if you're comparing apples to apples, you are going to get more affordability in Kingwood. Now let's look at the Woodlands for that same price point, which is 250 to 350. And wow, there's only 8. And I can tell you right now, they're going to be older. They very well may need some updates done to them. These are in the front of the villages, in the front of the Woodlands. So let's take it to about 650 to 750. We're going to stay in the Woodlands. So 19 options in the 650 to 750. You're looking at the mid to high 2,000 square foot low. So 2,500 probably to 3,300 square foot. There's a 36. Here's your price point right here. Look, wow, new construction kind of stuck in there, a couple of them. So you do have some new construction at that price point in there. Not too many. Most of the new construction is done in Kingwood and the Woodlands. There's just nowhere else for them to build. There's nowhere else to go. But as you can see, if there's a spot that they can poke one in somewhere, they certainly do. And they do have some down there. So just wanted to give you a general idea of what you're going to get, what type of value, how much bang for your buck, how much moolah you're going to need for those price points in Kingwood versus the Woodlands. Back to comparison Kingwood and the Woodlands. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is the difference in size. The Woodlands is substantially larger than Kingwood. Kingwood was the very first master plan community in the entire Houston area way back in the late 70s. The Woodlands was a little bit later to start developing, but you will notice that the Woodlands is huge. It is literally one of the very most desirable places in the entire United States, but definitely in Texas. So obviously when you're talking about size, it's its own city. You do not have to leave the Woodlands for anything. It's got it all, from education to businesses to shopping to entertainment. Kingwood, I'm gonna say, is more like a Hallmark town. It's kind of got two ways in and two ways out. There's a lot of old money in Kingwood. There's a lot of repeat generations in the Kingwood area. Both of the communities I like, they are very wooded. You will see that they have really developed these neighborhoods, keeping the trees, keeping the trails, keeping the biking and the outdoor activities. In Kingwood, again, with it being a smaller niche community, that may appeal to you more than the hustle and bustle over at the Woodlands because it is so much larger. The school districts, they are highly rated. Again, Kingwood's smaller, the Woodlands is larger. There are a lot of different elementary, junior high, and high school in both of the communities, but you will know that they do really have high GPAs and education in there. Their sports, their bands, their choirs. In Kingwood, they probably have a little bit more in their FHA department than they do in the Woodlands because some of them have the access to get real properties to have pets and animals out there. The next thing we're going to talk about is amenities. The Woodlands has all kinds of entertainment for all ages. You have escape rooms, you have a skydive club, you have Top Golf, you have a ton of amenities over there. Outside the Kingwood, you have a main event. You have an escape room over there too, but I will say there's not near as much entertainment in Kingwood, and honestly, most of the residents of Kingwood, if they're looking for entertainment, a lot of times they go over to the Woodlands for that. Let's talk about the different parts of the neighborhood. So Kingwood has Kingwood Town Center. That is literally right at the middle of Kingwood, and it's right at Kingwood Drive and Westlake Houston Parkway. It's called Town Center. You're gonna find restaurants, you're gonna find shopping, and you're gonna find businesses there. The second quote community area in Kingwood is called the Waterway. So that is obviously sitting on Lake Houston, and it's got restaurants, shopping, and some businesses and some housing over there that is lakefront property. When you talk about the Woodlands and their main business areas, there are three of them. There's the Waterway, so that is pretty close to IH-45 and the Woodlands Mall. The Waterway has obviously businesses. There's a lot of oil and gas and other industries there. That's your bar scene too. There's lots of fun, there's lots of music, and there's lots of bars on there. There's Kirby's Ice House, there's Goose's Acres, there's Mahoney's. There's a lot of bar entertainment on the Waterway. There's also restaurants. There's a lot of walking. There's kind of a waterway that goes through there that you can paddleboard and get to restaurants and other entertainment in there. Next is Market Street. That's your fancy high-end shopping. So you have the Woodlands Mall, which of all malls, that mall is packed all the time, not just at the holidays. And across the street from the mall is called Market Street. It's mostly your high-end outdoor shopping. There are some really cool restaurants over there. They have Louis Vuitton stores, they have Michael Kors, they have other high-end shopping over there, as well as a movie theater. The third center of the business community is going to be called Hughes Landing. That's named after Mr. Hughes, who is the developer of the Woodlands. So Hughes Landing is a little bit further north and more into the Woodlands, and it has what's called Restaurant Row. There's Truluck's over there, there's Mexican food, there's several other things, but there's a lot of office buildings over there, and a lot of those businesses actually manage the Waterway and Market Street. So that's kind of a business hub that you have in the Woodlands at Hughes Landing. But it also has very nice upscale apartments over there. So if you're looking to just have an ease, an apartment looking over the water or looking over Restaurant Row, it is a super nice place at Hughes Landing. What are the demographics of Kingwood versus the Woodlands? So let's start with Kingwood. Based on 2022 census records, there are approximately 65,000 residents in the Kingwood area. The median income is about $77,500 for the area. The Kingwood area has over 75 miles of green belts and 500 acres of nature's preserve. So we have talked about it being the livable forest, and people absolutely love that. Also, your hospitals are very important to the Kingwood area. They are actually on the opposite side of the freeway of IH-69, and you can pretty much get any type of medical assistance that you need. Kingwood schools are ranked 214th in the entire nation with regard to the school system. They also have been consistently ranked as one of the safest places to live in the entire United States, but specifically in Texas. So those are some wonderful demographics about Kingwood. Now let's talk about the Woodlands. We talked about how much bigger the Woodlands is. So from 2022 census, the Woodlands has about 130,000 residents. So literally double the size. Now remember, these are within the city limits, and there's all kinds of outskirts and little fingers. So both of those numbers are actually going to be, I'm going to guess, substantially larger, because you know how those census things are. Kingwood has 34 schools, 2,100 businesses, so the Woodlands is substantially higher on the business aspect. Yes, Kingwood has Insperity, it has Chevron, it has some other small oil and gas companies, attorneys, tons of financial advisors, those type of things. But your larger companies, there have been a ton moved to the Woodlands area, specifically Exxon. There were over, 14,000 employees that Exxon have. They have their own campus over there. So oil and gas has really migrated to the Woodlands areas. They have 151 parks and over 220 miles of hiking and biking trails. You've heard me repeat that over and over, but that's why people like to go to North Houston. It's not flat and barren and treeless. If you are looking in the Houston area, it is very important that you know what your areas are, because when you're relocating to Houston, it's huge. If you've never been here, ding, 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 reminder, it's the 4th largest city in America. So make sure you do your homework and narrow down that area. Of course, North Houston is my favorite area, again, because of the scenery, and it's got such a great personality up north.